If you like Vietnam War dioramas with action and story, Master Box's 1/35 scale Charlie on the left is a very interesting figure set. But there is one important catch. The flak vests shown on the box art are not actually molded into the figures. So in this review, I want to cover what this set does well, where it falls short, and whether it's still worth picking up. Welcome back to Working Title Models. Today we're looking at Master Box's 1/35 scale Charlie on the left. This is a 5-figure Vietnam War era set built around movement, tension, and diorama storytelling, rather than simple standing poses. Let's get into it. First impressions. The first thing that stands out is the energy. These figures are posed in motion. They are reacting, aiming, turning, and working together in a way that immediately suggests a firefight or ambush scene. This does not feel like a generic figure set. It feels like a moment frozen in time, and that gives it a lot of appeal if you enjoy building scenes instead of just placing figures beside a finished vehicle. Another real plus is that the figures have full heads. That matters more than it may sound. Full heads give you better painting opportunities, more natural facial detail, and more flexibility if you want to change headgear or make small conversions. What's in the set? You get 5 figures in 1/35 scale, and the whole set is clearly designed to work as part of a Vietnam combat vignette. The poses are really the big selling point here. These are not parade ground figures. They are sculptured to interact with each other and the scene around them. That means the set works best when you think of it as part of a small story. Master Box has always been good at cinematic style, and this set fits that approach very well. The biggest issue. Now let's talk about the biggest thing you need to know before buying it. The flak vests shown on the box art are not molded into the figures. That means the packaging suggests a little more gear than the plastic actually gives you. So if you want the figures to look exactly like the artwork, you're going to need to add or modify those vests yourself. That does not make this a bad set, but it does mean expectations matter. The box art is a little misleading. The good news is that the basic poses are strong enough that the set will still work very well, even if you build it straight from the box. And if you're comfortable with a little putty, foil, or scratch building, you can add those missing vests without too much trouble. Sculpting and build quality. Overall, the sculpting is solid. The figures have lively body language, and that's really what makes this set work. With figure sets like this, the sense of motion is often more important than ultra-fine uniform detail, because if the poses look stiff, the whole scene falls flat. Here the figures feel alive, and that's the main strength of the kit. Molding looks good for an injection plastic set, but you should still expect normal cleanup. Seams, joints, and alignments will all need attention. Because these are active poses, fit matters a lot. If an arm or weapon's angle is off, the figure can lose some of that natural movement. So this is not a rush job. Careful assembly will make a big difference. Best use for this set. To me, this set is at its best in a diorama or vehicle scene. It looks like it wants to be part of a patrol, a jungle contact, or a fast-moving combat diorama. That is where the title Charlie on the left really comes alive. They're not neutral figures, they're part of a very specific dramatic moment. If you enjoy groundwork, foliage, vehicle crews, or storytelling in your build, this set has a lot of value. If you're looking for more general purpose Vietnam infantry set, this one may feel a little too specific. Painting thoughts. Painting can really bring this set to life. For the US figures, I would avoid using one single flat olive drab tone. Vietnam subjects usually look better with some variation in greens, khakis, and faded fabric colors. That helps separate the figures visually and makes the group look more believable. The full heads are a big advantage here. You can spend more time on facial detail, skin tones, shadows under helmet brims, and expressions. That gives the figures more character, especially in close-up shots. For weathering, I would go more towards dust, sweat, and worn fabric rather than heavy mud. A humid, dusty look usually feels right for this kind of scene. And again, if you want to match the box art more closely, this is where you would decide whether to add those missing flak vests. Final verdict. So is Master Box 1/35 scale Charlie on the left worth it? I would say yes, especially if you like Vietnam War subjects and action-oriented figure sets. The biggest strengths are the posing, the sense of story, and the flexibility you get from the full heads. The biggest weakness is that the flak vests shown on the box art are not molded into the figures. So the packaging promises a little more than the plastic actually delivers. So my verdict is this: great motion, great diorama potential, solid figure set, but slightly misleading box art. In closing, if you've built this set, let me know what you paired it with: a Jeep, jungle trail, or full combat scene. And if you enjoy reviews of model kits, figures, tools, and aftermarket accessories, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.